Good morning. It's the beginning of day 28. Hiking. It's 7:10 in the morning, so pretty early start for me again. That's excellent. I got 15.9 miles to get to Harts Pass and hope for a hitchhike. So it's still smoky. Yeah, that's smoke. And gloomy. I had my mask on most of the night. I had a dull headache, which I never get headaches, so I presume this is just smoke congestion. And I tented with a couple of folks that are heading up to the terminus, and they told me, in their opinion, it was more smoke at Mazama down below than there was up here. And I was like, oh, dang. I was like so excited about getting to a lower elevation where maybe there'd be less smoke. But there is a rain in the forecast for tonight for potentially heavy rain. So I mean, I'd love to be indoors for that, but that seems less than certain at this point. If I get to Mazama and there's no ride to be had, that is, if I get a hitch from Harts Pass to Mazama and there's no ride to be had, then I'll stay at a place called the Lion's Den, which is, it's a hostel of sorts, but you pitch your tent in the yard. so it'll be pouring all around me if that's the case. But you know, the really good news, beyond my personal bias, is if there is heavy rain, then it will knock the smoke down, it will knock the fires down, and that's so important. You know, we're just a bunch of hikers out here trying to get places, but there's all sorts of wildlife out here, and they deserve to live. Speaking of wildlife, the tent site had a large deer last night, just trying to get at your poles, get at your pee. They're desperate for salt, so all night long I felt like there was a 200-pound stalking beast right outside my tent, and it was a deer. I was hoping he wouldn't nibble on my tent, but yeah, that's all good. Talk to you soon. Good morning. It's around 8 o'clock. I've just been hauling butt on a trail that's almost all downhill. Yeah, there's the sun trying to peek through the smoke. There's the rock, source of the rocks that keep coming down here, and I'm gonna motor on. Hey there, it's 9:45. I've gone 7+ miles, pretty good, and I've only got just 10.1 to Harts Pass, and I'm just trying to haul ass to get there so I can improve my chance of getting a hitch today, because most of the rides coming up are earlier part of the day and less in the evening. So yeah, I had to stop and get some water. There's my water source, and I got one bottle. I'm about to grab this one and squeeze it so it'll go faster, and then I'll begin hauling butt down the trail again. Just passed two hikers heading in the direction of the terminus, and these were folks, husband and wife, from I think the Czech Republic, and they were determined to get to Stehekin even via the alternate. So whereas I turned around, they pressed on, and they said they went another few days, and they said the smoke was just blinding, and they were all sick. And they said everyone turned around and they came back to Stevens Pass and got a ride to Mazama. So I don't know what the status of that trail is now. I think there's what someone has told me is now there's 2 fires south of Harts Pass, well, south of Stehekin, I should say, and 1 fire just north of Stehekin that's blocking access to Harts Pass. So, yeah, a lot of fires. It's tough. You got to take it seriously, since the smoke could make you really sick and or kill you. And then there's, of course, the fire as well. Everything out here involves vast distances. I came up over that hill after a steep climb right in the middle, and then there's a long trail kind of aiming downhill all the way into that corner, and then I came back uphill. So, and then I think I'm getting to the point where most things are downhill. I got like 3.5 miles to Harts Pass. Can't wait. You can see a fire watch tower at the top of the hill, and then the cut line more or less going sideways across several areas. Dang, I guess further away than I thought before I get on a nice sloping grass slope. But I'm getting there. Well, I was higher up and I saw a car at this parking lot. In the beyond Harts Pass, there's a dirt road that goes higher before it eventually turns around. So I said, what the heck? Let me go run down the side trail and see if this gentleman will give me a ride down, since the miles I'm doing now back to Harts Pass are all redundant, since I went from Harts Pass to the border and now I'm going back down this painful road, or painful trail. In any case, he said no. He was courteous about it, but he was going higher up, and he was hoping to find his daughter and a friend on trail, I guess to give him treats or something. But I said to him, I haven't seen her. So, yeah, I have not seen anyone heading back to the Harts Pass trailhead all today. So, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I did see fair number of people going the other way. So, well, that ride didn't work out. Maybe I'll find another. So, look who I ran into.
So I'm Larry the Log. I'm a log man. To raise money for St. Jude Children's Hospital.
Awesome.
I'm about to hit the northern terminus, but I still have 500 miles in this year, so I'll end by Whitney. Last year I did the Appalachian Trail, raised $10,000 for veterans. Next year I'll do the CDT.
Amazing.
I'll pick another charity for that.
That's awesome, man.
And it's a 20-pound log.
Wow. Well done.
If you follow Larry, if you look up Larry the Log, you'll find
well, you know, I knew of someone on the AT, so that probably was you. There's another guy with a vacuum cleaner, I heard.
Leaf blower.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Okay.
PCT with the 30-foot garden hose.
Oh, jeez.
But this has a story.
Well done.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you. Hey there, this is a belated end of day 28. It's actually the next day, I forgot. We ended up paying for a hitch. We were able to walk down the mountain, get some cell signal, and call a man named Tim, who works over here at a bike shop, who drove us up the hill a couple of days before, and he was willing to drive back up the hill to get us and bring us back down. And once we got back down, I stayed at the Lion's Den, which is a hostel, which is just about a quarter mile from this general store. And I forgot to film anything last night. I was like too exhausted. So in any case, I'm sitting here waiting for a ride, beginning the process of getting myself back home to the Boston area. I still have miles in the Sierra and some in the desert, and it's way too early to get into the desert. So even though I only have like 70 miles in the Sierra to get done, I don't want to fly down there, expend $500 or $1,000, and then have to wait another 3 or 4 weeks before I get into the desert. So I'm just going to go home for a bit and get myself back together again, and then sort out what I do next. So that's it for this phase here, and it's been an incredible challenge, incredibly tiring, and I look forward to getting home and getting clean and resting. Take care. Hey guys, this is a follow-up on day 28. So I'm back home now. This is my office, my messy office with all my hiking gear exploded all over the floor, and my backpack and jackets and everything else airing out, being laundered, etc. So I just wanted to give you an update on my plans. I yesterday had booked flights and some accommodations back to the West Coast. Be flying into Reno the last week of September, and then taking public transit, what is it, Eastern Sierra Transit, I think is the name of it. It's a bus company, down along the spine of the Sierra, and I'll set back in the Sierra. I have like 75 miles to finish, which includes Harts Pass and some of the more challenging areas, elevation-wise and steepness, etc. I'm uncertain yet whether I'm going to set in at Bishop or maybe at the Onion Valley Trailhead off of Independence. A little concerned if I start at Onion Valley Trailhead, which is itself at 9,800 feet, then I'd quickly be at 12,000 feet and I won't have any conditioning and I'll just be out of gas. So one of the things I was thinking about is heading in at Bishop and hiking for a day or two at 8,000 feet and redoing some of the trail that I've done as a transition. So it's still undecided, but I don't have to decide that till I get closer, or even when I arrive in the West Coast. Then I also have sections of the desert to finish. I did hike from Kennedy Meadows to Walker Pass, and 2 years before, in my ill-fated COVID-canceled hike, I hiked from Campo to Julian. So there's still about 500 plus miles in between, I think, that I got to get done. I might redo the part down to Campo, and I might even do from Kennedy Meadows to Walker Pass. I haven't decided yet. Frankly, if I run into other hikers that I'm compatible with, that I could hike with, I think I'd probably prefer to have some company during that section. But in any case, I'm going to go silent for a couple of weeks while I wait for my flight to return to the West Coast. And just a reminder, I can't enter the desert till around October 1st because of the heat. And there'll still be water issues, but other people have figured it out, and trail angels hopefully will help. But yeah, and I don't really want to be in the Sierra in October, so that's why I did the last week of September. 2 years ago, when I went in the first week of October, I got caught in a snowstorm and broke ribs, so don't want that to happen again, for sure. But so yeah, I'll be out of touch for a little bit, and then back on the trail. Can't wait to finish this darn trail. It's beautiful, but it's tiring. Take care.